You guys, if you have not yet taken advantage of the 65% off the most popular package of goodies from Genucel.com
Slash.
/chicks, what are you even doing? You're
I
going
don't
to
know.
get the dark spot corrector, the
Look at
spray
you with it.
the spray
Yeah.
corrector stuff for your dark spots that you can use on your age spots on your hands, on your neck, on your face, and it works wonders, as does, I must say, every product within the most popular package at Genucel, because they curate it in the best way where they put all the best stuff in there. Their under eye stuff that's amazing, like just all of the best products. Their XV cream. You're going to love everything that you get in there, and then you're going to want to get it all the time because it's so good. And 65% off. Hello.
Such a deal. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I'm going to be buying all the things. The retinol stuff is amazing. The XV cream is amazing. Yeah. I love their eyelid treatment. So good. Everything is fantastic. You've got to try all the things. The best stuff ever, you guys. All of it is amazing. So try it.
And if you use code CHICKS at Genucel.com /chicks, you're going to get an extra discount at checkout. So you're going to save tons of money. Now is the time. Now is also the time for pretty much the entire country to be freaking out on multiple levels about Roe v. Wade and Casey getting overturned this past Friday. So we talked about that a lot in our morning video, but there are still some aspects of the conversation that we need to get to and to do a little bit of a deeper dive into, as we do in our weekly deep dive.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be talking about this for a while. But this is a really good platform for us to sort of dive deeper into it, just on some of the issues that are, I mean, this is not going to stop for quite some time. People are losing their minds over it and being completely irrational. And I'd like to know on some of these issues, some of the things, where are the fact checkers now? Where are they? You know? I mean,
they should be fact checking Biden. Start there.
Right. Yeah, they're not doing that. Yeah, that would be a good start. Really
that would be a good start. Also, a good start, I thought, would be to share. This is an old-timey video. You can tell from the quality of it, but it's an old-time news broadcast from when Roe herself, Norma, I forget her last name, they'll show it, but when she came out to admit that the whole story that she concocted in order for Roe v. Wade to even become a thing was completely made up. And so this just gives a little bit of background about her lie and then her ultimate transformation into becoming someone who was super pro-life. Here that is.
Yeah.
Jane Roe's story was a terrible one. She said she had been gang raped, gotten pregnant, was desperate to get an abortion. That's what everyone believed, as long as Jane Roe remained anonymous. When she went public, she told a different story.
You were raped while you were in Georgia?
No, I wasn't.
You were not?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, so all those stories that are in the books and so forth are not true?
Yes, sir. Yes.
They're not true.
Right.
And it turned out that lying wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented. In her personal treatise published last year, Norma McCorvey told the story of her somewhat sordid life. Then she still adamantly supported abortion. Now she adds that to the list of sins she took with her into the baptismal pool.
I've cheated people out of money. I've sold drugs. I was an abusive alcoholic for many years. I've done a lot against his teachings. But I think the far greater sin that I did was to be the plaintiff in Roe versus Wade.
Just a little background.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people know that. And that's not something that the pro-choice movement wants to amplify, right?
Right.
Our poster girl was a big liar.
Yeah. And regrets it. Regrets every aspect of her participation and her role in that decision.
And repented and said, she feels obviously terrible, or she felt terrible about that, and then repented and then became a woman of God. But still, I mean, that just kind of sucks, right?
Yeah, it totally sucks. And you know, it's interesting. Did you see like Macron and there were other world leaders who immediately came out to just criticize the Supreme Court's decision, which I thought was so utterly
Yes.
inappropriate on every
Totally
level.
inappropriate. Right.
Oh my God. And then I saw that there was a stat that there's only 7 countries in the world who allow abortion after 20 weeks. So in many ways, we've got states here that are still doing abortions in much more extreme, barbaric ways than most other countries.
We're up there with North Korea and China, like all these these places that are horrific, right? We're in line with them. And then some of these places, these countries that were pointing fingers at us and daring to say bad things about us. It's like, wait a second, you guys are actually pretty conservative on abortion. So I'm just like, who are they to point fingers at us? I just and you know what, it's inappropriate for them to do that anyway. Just from a diplomacy standpoint, I found that to be really inappropriate. Then again, they're inappropriate. A lot of these guys are inappropriate anyway. But still, I mean, we've never seen them do that kind of stuff before.
Yeah, that was off-putting in a whole big bunch of ways. For
it really was.
Totally. But I just feel like so many, and I know you're here with me on this, like I feel like so much of America is not on either extreme, that so many more Americans are much more reasonable. And that's why there's such a reaction, I think, to this, because we've got the Mike Pences of the world who are like, ban abortion federally now, which I'm just like, this is why you will never be president. Right. And then we've got the other people saying babies coming out of the womb should be aborted. I mean, these are just two extremes that most people are not in line with. I feel, and there was another stat that said that 60% of abortions happen at home with the pills that are before 10 weeks of gestation.
I did not know that.
And so those are the people. And listen, I don't like that either. But at the same time, I feel like most people are like, you know what? That's fine. I would rather see pregnancies discontinued at that early stage than be talking about the barbarism that it requires of a person to think that aborting a 15-week or 18-week or 20+ week baby is okay.
With limbs and hand, I mean, because that's the thing. When I conjure up a notion of abortion, I see, because I posted something on chicksonright.com today where it actually showed a first and a second and a third trimester abortion. And, I don't think a lot of people even realize what it entails or what it is. And listen, up until I was like, in my 20s, 30s, I had never seen one. I never looked at video. I didn't watch videos about what they were. All I heard was representatives from Planned Parenthood coming into my high school telling me that abortion's a choice. It's great to have a choice. And so this stuff is pounded into your brain as a young woman for a very long time. And so you don't actually see what it is. And you don't make that. A lot of people, I don't say you, I shouldn't say you, a lot of women don't make that connection. So when you see what it is and you see when you look at these videos, you actually see what it is. You see the limbs, you see the face, you see the fingers, you see what actually happens in these procedures. And it's horrifying. Yeah. It's horrifying. But if you're right, if it can happen like right way before, like in that first, couple weeks or whatever. And if it does happen with a, like that pill, the day after pill or whatever. I mean, I think that a lot of reasonable people would prefer that over a third trimester abortion.
Exactly.
Without question. Yeah.
And I don't know why there's not more outcry from just people who are in the middle, right, on this issue where they're not on either extreme, because I feel like that's the majority of America are the people that are moderate about this whole entire issue. And so, we talked in our video this morning about the crazy people who are convinced that now doctors won't treat ectopic pregnancies. It's all nonsense. They're just fear-mongering at this point. Same with they're picking on Clarence Thomas's his concurrence because he talked about how precedent has now been set with other cases with respect to same-sex marriage, with respect to contraception, whatever. And so they're choosing to harp on the words that Clarence Thomas said that would only apply to future potential cases coming forward, and he is not even saying that that same-sex marriage would not be able to happen, that contraception wouldn't be able to happen. And in the majority opinion, it's very clear, Jonathan Turley has pointed this out multiple times, it's very clear that those things, same-sex marriage, interracial marriage, I'm sure Clarence Thomas is not going to be a proponent of ending interracial marriage,
right,
people.
Because he is in one. Hello.
Right. So, I mean, for people to be like harping on those just extreme fears that are not a thing, it's the whole conversation is getting crazy.
Yeah, but it's helpful to Democrats. It's really helpful to the left right now to stoke those fears. It's helpful for them to have headlines that say, you know, LGBTQ Americans should be worried about their rights right now. And it's helpful for people like Bette Midler to get out there on Twitter and say, they're coming for you next, gays. They're coming for you next, LGBTQ people. I mean, it's super, super helpful from a political standpoint. This is what they're doing. And the left loves this right now because it distracts from the fact that they are a huge shitstorm politically. That's what they've been for the past almost 2 years, right? I mean, let's get real. They've done a terrible, terrible job when it comes to managing this country. And so it's super helpful for them to say, they're coming for you. And and miscarriages are the same as abortion. Ectopic pregnancy is the same as abortion. All these other things, lump them all together, and women are freaking out. You know, gay people are freaking out. People in interracial relationships are freaking out. Everybody's freaking out. And it's like, people are just losing their minds because of this. And I get that there's probably a little bit of unrest because this was a monumental decision. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to see it in my lifetime. I really didn't. I thought I really didn't. You and I have been doing this for 14 years. And I'm like, wow. Roe v. Wade was overturned. Holy crap.
I remember we wrote in our book that this was like not even a thinkable thing. Like we were like, do you know how many stars would have to be aligned for this to happen? And then lo and behold,
we're watching it happen. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it really is a very cool thing that it's happening. And from a culture rot perspective, I hope that it can help the culture sort of start to turn from a pendulum swing perspective, because man, we have gone from safe, legal, and rare to celebrate it.
Oh my God.
And I hope, if nothing else, I hope it makes that pendulum sort of come back to the middle a little bit, because we've gone so far to the left. It's just, it's disheartening. It really breaks my heart when I see that. And you can't tell me that's not true.
Oh, there's sites devoted to removing any hint of shame from killing your child.
Right.
So,
and people are bloodthirsty when it comes to abortion now. It never used to be that way. So if nothing else, I hope that the overturning of this makes us sort of just at least come back to the middle. Now, I don't know, because I look at the Californias and the Colorados and the New Yorks, and they're like, we're going to be a destination state. Like Gavin Newsom is probably all excited and frothing at the mouth because he can become a destination state for all these people to get abortions. And this whole company thing, like US companies you are in HR. I don't even understand how that's going to work. Like US
the can of worms that has now been opened. Oh my God. And we'll get into that in a second. But first, just want to remind everybody, huge mega sale on MyPillow slippers and moccasins, which are some of our favorite products. You can save $90 on these things. They are cheap. You should be stocking up for gifts for people, even this far in advance for Christmas or whatever holiday you want to buy a present for somebody for. It is guaranteed that they will love them because they're that awesome. They are so comfortable. They got the squeezy kitten fur technology, and you can get them at mypillow.com/.
I'm getting it for everybody for Christmas. Like, get them now. Do it in advance. Like Mott said, it's the greatest thing ever.
For real. Okay, so you asked about what is this going to do with health insurance plans and companies? So you mentioned Yeah, there's
coming out of the
tons of
woodwork.
companies. Companies are announcing they want to be the first to announce how woke they are. And they're putting out all these statements. Dick's is one. I know Disney is another, who are saying, if one of our employees needs an abortion and they live in a state where they are no longer allowed to get one, we will pay up to $4,000 of travel expenses for them to go travel to wherever it is they need to go to travel to get their abortions.
Okay.
Now,
So hypothetically, say, what if I just want to take it? Okay. So here's the thing. My kids, okay, they're moving back to California. I'm just putting this out there. What if I decided voluntarily? I know, right? Don't even get me started. So say if I decided, you know what, I want a free trip to California. $4,000 is a lot of freaking money. What if I decided I'm just going to lie and say I'm getting an abortion? I want a free trip to California. You don't think there's going to be fraud in this? You don't think that people are going to be using this all over the place to get like free freaking trips to California and New York? Hey, I'm going to go to a Broadway show. Woo! I'm going to go. I have to get an abortion, Disney.
Yeah, what are they supposed to do? Are they going to have to provide a pregnancy test? No, right. This is going to be someone going to HR and saying, I got to go and get an abortion. And I'm
pregnant. Right. This is, I mean, like how there's fraud. I mean, the government is just like racked with fraud. You don't think that people are going to like use and abuse this?
Without a doubt.
Seriously. Honest to God. It's going to happen. We're going to be paying out the ass for this. Seriously.
Well, and it gets very, very complicated when it comes to health insurance plans, company-sponsored health insurance plans, which most large employers have. Now, some of these giant companies most likely have self-funded plans, which means that they've got some leeway about this. Like they can claim that they're allowed to do this because of ERISA protections. But a lot of companies who are not self-funded, who have fully insured health plans for their employees, this is going to get so crazy because they have to abide by state rules and regulations when it comes to their health plan offerings. So there's going to be companies, for example, who have locations all over the place where some states will have abortion legal, some will not. And it's going to get very, very tricky because some employees would have a benefit that others don't. This is all going to open up for so many lawsuits. And I don't know how they're going to get sorted out. And I mean, the state of Texas legislature is already saying to Texas-based companies, if you try to pay for abortions for employees out of state, we're gonna have all kinds of penalties. We're enacting all kinds of legislation to prevent you from doing that. And they may not need a lot because the companies that have fully insured plans have to do what the state regulations require of them.
And then
it's going to get messy.
Okay, messy. There's the logistics factor. There's that logistics. Fine. There's that, all the insurance, which you understand because you were in HR. But then there's the resentment factor, because as an employee of a company, if I saw some chick getting $4,000 to go to California to get an abortion, and then I didn't get a bonus that year, and I didn't,
you paid for that?
Yeah, because I paid for her abortion, and I'd be like, this is bullshit. I'd be like, this is total bullshit. Why does she get $4,000 to go get an abortion and I'm not getting a bonus? And then they told everybody in the company, well, nobody gets Christmas bonuses this year, or we're like scaling back on so-and-so. And I'd be like, wait, well, why did Susie get an abortion and she got a trip paid for to California to go do that? Because, and I don't agree with that. That's not okay. I'd be irritated. Why did these two women over here get $8,000 of the kitty to go get that done, and then I don't get a bonus this year? Like that, there's the resentment factor, and there are going to be people who are pissed off about that, and that's not going to be okay for company morale. You don't think that that's going to affect companies? It's going to totally affect companies, and people are going to be irritated by that. And so, how are they going to square that away with the people who aren't taking advantage of that benefit? I don't get it.
This is just going to open up. There's going to be so much legal mumbo jumbo that's going to be happening as a result of this. And not to say that that's a bad thing. I mean, some of these things do need to get sorted out because we need to know how the courts are going to stand on all of these issues. But man, is it going to be messy. It is going to
It
be
is.
so messy. Probably the worst take that I have seen from a pro-choice person on this whole hullabaloo is from Anna Navarro, who,
Right.
again, she's a self-described Republican,
She's
Catholic. She's so vile. So you're about to hear, and this was a much longer clip. I'm not playing nearly the whole thing, but she was on, what's her name? Allison? No, is it Allison? She used to be on Fox and Friends, and now she's a CNN psycho. You'll recognize her when you see her.
Camerata?
Anyway,
is it Camerata?
Yes, Allison Camerata. That's exactly right. So
Okay.
she had on Anna Navarro, and then she had on a pro-life person who I don't know. And that person you're not going to hear from in this particular clip, because this is all about Anna using her own disabled family members as a reason abortion should be more available. Like, I was stunned when I saw this. Everyone should be stunned. Take a look at this.
I have a brother who's 57 and has the mental and motor skills of a 1-year-old. And I know what that means financially, emotionally, physically for a family. And I know not all families can do it. And I have a step-granddaughter who was born with Down syndrome. And you know what? It is very difficult in Florida to get services. It is not as easy as it sounds on paper. And I've got another step-grandson who is very autistic, who has autism, and it is incredible. And their mothers and people who are in that society, who are in that community, will tell you that they've considered suicide because that's how difficult it is to get help, because that's how lonely they feel, because they can't get other jobs, because they have financial issues, because the care that they're able to give their other children suffers. And so why can I be Catholic and still think this is a wrong decision? Because I'm American. I'm Catholic inside the church. I'm Catholic when it comes to me. But there's a lot of Americans who are not Catholic and are not Christian and are not Baptist. And you have no damn right to tell them what they should do with their bodies. Nobody does.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, okay.
It's stunning, right? Because the only thing that she left off, if she would have just completed that train of thought, she would have said, so see, we need to be able to abort people like those members of my family.
Those 3 people shouldn't be on this planet. Those 3 people we should have been able to kill them. We should have been able to kill them.
I don't know how you can't deny that. You can't deny that was her point.
No, it totally was her point. So she believes in eugenics.
Yeah.
She believes that Anna Navarro gets to pick who lives and who dies.
Yep.
What a lunatic.
I mean, I was speechless when I first saw that. I was just, and I'm a mom of I have an almost 26-year-old who probably has the brain capacity of a 3-month-old. And I can't imagine using him as a political pawn, my own flesh and blood, using him the way that Anna Navarro just used her brother, her nephew or step-grandson, whatever.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine using him as some sort of a pawn in this argument. Like, that is a level of sick that I didn't even think Anna Navarro was capable of, but clearly she's proven me wrong.
Right.
Holy
and
crap.
I wonder what her family thinks of that. Like, does her family agree with that? Like, who is this family she speaks of? I hope to God that they would come out and they'd be like, shut your face.
Right.
Like, don't you speak for me? It may be hard sometimes. I may have struggles sometimes, but I thank God every day for this person.
Yeah.
I mean, what is wrong with you, you sick, disgusting hag?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And to call yourself a Catholic, this is the thing. Catholics, get rid of her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say that she's no longer, this is what I have a problem like with Catholics or people that are like a part of churches or whatever. This is why people don't go to church. This is why people leave these churches, is because of people like Anna Navarro. Yeah. Seriously, say you are no longer allowed in this church if you're going to say shit like that. Because this is why people don't go to church. This is why. Because of people like her. If you just don't say that kind of stuff and say that you're a Catholic. Stop it.
I mean, I guess the blessing here is that her brother does have a 1-month-old brain capacity and can't hear what she just said about him.
You're right.
Because I can't imagine. I mean, the Downs kid probably can understand what she's saying. You know what I mean? But her brother, thankfully, mercifully, cannot. And I'm glad for that, because I can't imagine a sibling hearing that from their own flesh and blood, saying it would have probably just been easier for our family to have aborted my brother.
Shame on her. God, I just I don't understand that line of thinking. I don't.
I know. It's vile. It's vile. So clearly this issue brings out the absolute worst in a lot of people.
Yes, it does.
Man, I just never thought, wow. I knew she was bad. I just never knew that she was that bad.
Yeah.
Really quickly want to mention that we have our friends at getacregold.com/chicks, where you can do a layaway program of gold, a subscription to tangible physical gold that looks like this, that you can have in your grubby little paws, and then you can put inside of your safe for safekeeping. And you'll know that you've got an extra hedge against inflation, against what all the crazy markets are doing. You've got a way of diversifying your whole financial portfolio that now can include physical gold, and you can get it from Acre Gold. We love them. We love their subscription offering. $50, $100, or $250 a month for various sizes of bars of gold that you'll continue to accumulate. It's a fantastic way to do it. getacregold.com/chicks.
Yeah.
I know we'll be talking about this for weeks and months.
Yeah, we will. Do you think it'll prompt people to actually read the Constitution? At least one thing, I think that some people are like, wait, we're a constitutional republic? Yeah. What? Yeah, we are. We are a constitutional republic, because so many of these like 20 and 30 somethings are like, I didn't know that. What's that? Yeah, because they've not been taught this. Yeah, exactly. They're like, but we're a democracy, and our democracy is in jeopardy because that's what Kamala says. That's what AOC says. No, we're actually a constitutional republic, and we're founded upon the Constitution. And so maybe like a lot of you guys should maybe check that out and read it. You know, that would be a really good thing for you to do. And so this is the thing. A lot of them didn't realize that this just returns the power to the states. And then, it's like you can decide, get more involved there, maybe get off your ass, get off of like the TikTok, get off your ass, get more involved. And there you go. You can, like, if you're so upset about this and you really want to kill your babies, like, I don't know, get more involved. And I think, a lot of these kids probably won't get more involved because they're going to still remain on the TikTok, but still, this is the thing. I don't think they understand how our country works, and maybe they'll start to learn that, or I don't know. Maybe I just have,
I think you have high hopes.
I do have high hopes.
But hopefully if they're on TikTok, they run across TikTok and see Chicks on Right at TikTok, along with all of our other social media platforms.
Yes, I hope they do.
And don't forget that we can be found at chicksonright.com. Please be patient with our budding new site as it works through its kinks and problems that are typical when a site gets relaunched the way that ours has in the last couple weeks. We are working through all of those issues, and we're hoping that it'll be perfect and running perfectly within the next couple weeks.
It's basically in its like preteen phase right now.
Yeah, it's acting out.
It's in its awkward phase. Yeah. And so just like bear with us. We'll get through the awkward phase pretty soon. But yeah, like once you get there, you can see all the places that you can find us. But then we're also on all the socials too. Like Mock said, we're on the TikTok at Chicks on Right. And then we're on like every other social media platform too at Chicks on Right. So check us out on all the places like Twitter and Instagram and all the other places, Parlor and every place, locals, we're everywhere. So check us out. And you guys, until next week, have a wonderful week.